Hello everyone, it is Wong Village here. And now we are going to do the Thomas and Friends 75th anniversary Q&A. So if you haven't watched our previous part, remember to check that out first, then watch this video. So today we are going to continue on our second half of our questions, and they are about some personal questions, and also there's a special streamlined section. So without further ado, let's start with some more personal questions that you may actually want to know more about us. So the question is, how and why did you guys find interest in Thomas and Friends? So for me, I think the first time I ever saw Thomas and Friends was actually from a Tommy Plarail toy that was given to me by an uncle. I think it was for my 3-year-old birthday. So then I remembered I like to push the engines around in the track and then that's how I played Thomas. So I guess that is how I became more interested in Thomas and Friends. How about you?
Yeah, Thatcher just said he find interest in Thomas and Friends through some toys, but I'm the exact opposite. I actually find my interest from the actual show. I think I've heard this story, but I'm not sure if it's true. My parents said that they wanted me to find interest in something when I was, really small, and when I was at home. So they find Thomas and Friends, bought some DVD, and I watched it and I like it. So I think that's how I started.
So
yeah, next question.
Do your friends or family know about you guys liking Thomas and Friends? If yes, why? When? And what are the reactions? So the majority of my family and friends know that I like Thomas and Friends, and I think their reactions were like, "Oh, you like then you like it." They are not surprised about it since it is actually a childhood memory that has grew up with me. So I think they do not feel surprised at all. How about you?
I think most, if not all of my family members know. Well, of course, my parents would know, or some close relatives would know, but not. I think not not all of them know, but they have no reaction basically because they have seen me grow up with Thomas and Friends. So as a baby, I love Thomas and Friends is normal. As a child, normal, and then as I gradually grow, that's just no reason I should give up. Actually, yeah. So I don't think they find it anything special. It's just that something that I like Thatcher mentioned. But for Friends, it's kind of different because I know different friends at different stage of my life. So I do have some friends that know I like it, and some are close friends, some are not so close. But it really depends on the context, or whether or not I would like them to know or accidentally notify them of my interest. So yeah, some of my friends know it, and the reaction also varies. Some felt normal, some felt indifference, and some are more interested in what actually it is and why, and what are we doing or making. Who wants me to show some of the videos? Yeah, I've got some reactions like that as well. So it kind of varies, but my message to all is that I'm not those person who said all of your friends should know about your interests, but just be natural. If they got to know it, just tell them. There's no need to actively hide it. But of course, there's also no need to add such sentence in your self-introduction. So it depends. My message is basically that. Just act natural. Do not hide it.
Yeah, if you ask me, I'm actually not hiding it or not emphasizing it that I like
It's definitely showing it. His WhatsApp icon is basically always Thomas related. He's actively showing it. It's exactly
my WhatsApp icon is already a Thomas related picture. And basically, if you ask me, my personal Instagram, it also has quite a lot of Thomas in it. So I guess people, they do find out really easily. But I'm glad like they do not find like, oh, you're so lame, you're so babyish. At least they do find, oh, you like this too. I like it when I was small as well, I guess. And then they would basically start maybe like asking me, oh, what is happening now in the show, like this. So I think it is not a bad thing because that makes you a little bit more special, I think.
Yeah, but it really depends on what friends you know. So, yeah, just be natural. No need to hide it, or no need to actively show it to everyone. That's basically the message.
I just let people find it out themselves. Yeah, so that is what I need to say. So
All right,
on
that's the next question.
okay. Have you guys ever thought of giving up on Thomas and Friends? I think no at this point. To me.
Well, to be frank, I actually had a split moment, or half a mind to give up, given you know, after my public examination, because the show is getting terrible, and I have kind of lost motivation to film or edit stuff. But eventually, as of now, I've got it back. Apparently, I'm talking to you on this channel. So now, no, but I did try. Oh, also, I did not always love Thomas and Friends. From when I was a baby until now, during the season 13 to 16, I actually did not watch any of those episodes, and I kind of got away from it. But eventually, I think I met Thatcher, and that he brought me back into the show, kind of like that. So I actually have
And then after bringing
kind
you
of
back to
different
the show, that was when the
King of the Railway.
era.
Yeah. So he brought me back during the right time, and that's very good. Yeah, I think that's it. Next question.
What is your least and most favorite Plarail item? Wow, difficult.
Well,
That's
I can answer my least favorite Plarail item that is on sale today. The new Plarail Edward is just absolutely hideous, apart from the face. The wrong chassis just gives me the Trackmaster 2 vibes, and it's not supposed to be like that. It's absolutely strange. Yeah, that's definitely the least favorite Plarail item that is on sale today.
yeah, that Plarail new Edward is definitely weird and ugly. But if you ask me from some older Plarail items, I would think I do not really like the Plarail Oliver because the proportions they look a bit weird. Because in the show, I think his face looks a little bit small, but as the toy, the face is pretty huge, and the eyes they look a little bit creepy to me, and the nose is really big.
The whole face is massive.
Yeah, but how about the favorite one?
Favorite? Yeah, that is a tricky question. Um,
Wow.
Zero makes a lot of great items. I mean, like, for example, just look at Thomas. It's great. The proportion is great, but not exactly the same. But as a toy, or as the player universe has established, it's great.
Perhaps we maybe like says what items we like instead of getting one favorite item because a lot of them are really good.
Yeah, that.
Which
Oh, what about
me the
apart
most.
from? Yeah, let's talk about our favorite or the number of items that we like that are still on sales today
Wow.
of Plarail.
Still on sale.
Yeah, like you cannot talk about the old Gordon. If you talk about Gordon, you have to talk about the new one that has
Okay.
the
Okay.
tender and the body
What
consumption.
do you think?
Otherwise, it would be pointless. People know you like it, but you can't
I know.
go buy it. Um, well, this is taking time, and it's going to take time. It's a very different.
Hard.
Um, what engines did they make recently, apart from Steam Team?
Apart from the Steam team, I think they made up. I think I can say if my favorite new player item can be Red Rosie, I think.
Ah, yeah. Oh, you got it. Now I cannot say that.
Yeah, because I mean, the old Rosie does look okay, but at least the new one they added they added the lamp and they
It's a
changed other detail. Yeah, the face they also did it okay, except the thing I did not like on this model is about the printings on the face, the eyebrows and the freckles are already fading, I tell you.
Plarail's printing on the face is always fading. It's not always that good. What other engines
I think you like Connor, right? And the other
are? Kind of, but I wouldn't say he's my favorite. The face is extremely large. I really don't know.
Well, if you ask me, I could say Gator and Marion, but they discontinued it already.
Okay, I'm just going to cheat and say Thomas. He looks okay, and it's the title character. You can't go wrong with Thomas. Yeah, let's get that over it.
Annie and Clarabelle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The new Annie and Clarabelle. The face is excellent, although it is not 3D, but it's at least updated.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question. What is the rarest engine or Plarail Trackmaster item that you have? So I do own some of them. I think it should be Bertram. I think should be the Trackmaster Bertram.
What is the rarest item that I own? I genuinely have no idea. Scruffy or Toad?
Is it
Plarail Scruffy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are. Oh, fun fact. The first Plarail item that I've got is actually Duck. The 3-car pack Duck. I got it. Well, my mom got it from Thomasland when we went when I was really small, along with Toby. So those are actually the oldest engines I have. All right. Next question.
Who owns more engines? Then the answer should be definitely me.
Yes.
Yeah, I own more of them. I think I own almost all of the engines except Proteus, and I'm still missing a lot of rolling stock and road vehicles. Because for rolling stock, I do not have an old slow coach. I do not have a Toad. And as for rolling stock, I do not have Jack, Alfie, or maybe even Ned, Madge. Those I know that they have been produced as toys, but I did not buy them. And I've never seen the Trackmaster version of them.
Yeah, the Trackmaster Ned is very ugly. Do not get that.
Okay, so
yeah,
next question.
That's a simple answer. Next question.
Which do you prefer, the classic Plarail James or the CGI Plarail James?
I would say I like both of them. They are good models. But,
Yeah.
I think actually we say the classic. So I'm going to say the CGI Plarail James because first it's it's not coupled to its tender. So when filming, you have more flexibility, and secondly, the face looks better, but let's compare the face. It looks like a CGI James face. But the classic Plarail James does not look like a classic series model James face. So in general, the face is extremely important for these toys of trains with faces. So I would say that CGI Plarail James. You say the classic James.
Yeah, because I own the classic one.
Yeah.
And I like the proportions of the classic James.
Yeah,
the face is a little bit problem. I mean, you can still tell that it's James, but it seems a little bit different to me. And that's what I think about it. But it's okay because at least you cannot find the classic Plarail James now, I guess.
Yeah.
So next question. What is your favorite merchandise line apart from Plarail and Trackmaster? And what is your favorite item from it? Wow. I can say my favorite merchandise line apart from the motorized ones should be Take Along and Take and Play. Yeah. Because I remember those, they looked okay, and at least they did a lot of variety in the number of characters. And
yeah, go on.
And my favorite item should be I really do not have a favorite item because I like them a lot, because I have a friend who owns a lot of Take and Play, And I remember I used to go to his house every month and play with it. So I guess my favorite item maybe I remember I always like pushing a duck or a Toby. So I guess those two are my favorites.
Okay, so I have my favorite merchandise line in mind, but I will need Thatcher's help to help me recall the name. That you know the one that is Bandai but without the metal, without the hook, without the coupling. Something that starts with N. I never know how to spell it, nor do I know how to.
Yes.
Nah,
Nay and then something
yes,
like
something with a K, a Y, and it starts with NA. Yeah, I think those who knows this merchandise line will definitely know it. Yeah, that's my favorite because it's not expensive, but it looks the closest to the models. Yeah, and the fact that the traction rods is actually like how it moves in the show is great, although it often jams if you know own that line, you know. But yeah, that's my favorite. And my favorite item, but they have a lot of good items. I would say Stepney. I don't really know why. Haven't done a thorough comparison, but I would say Stepney because his face is good, his chassis is accurate, I think, and the body is great. And Stepney, in general, or Stepney is handsome and good looking per se. That no matter his face or the body or the locomotive body design. Yeah, I'm gonna say Stepney, and that merchandise line from Japan made of plastic that I don't know the name of that starts with N. Basically that. Okay,
on to
next
the
question.
next question. Do you have any rare or used Thomas stuff? I guess those some of the rare hit toys, Trackmaster. You can say that those are rare. Yeah.
I think I've just shared the Scruffy and Toad. Used Thomas stuff. Well, Thatcher had got some used Thomas stuff from eBay.
Yeah, second-handed. Yeah, you can say I have.
Yeah. Do I have any used Thomas stuff? No. Oh yes. I got the narrow gauge brake fan from Psychic Jason that a few years ago on that auction or the charity related auction. Yeah, so that is definitely used by Jason, and now I own it, so I own some used Thomas stuff.
Okay, so next question. Favorite episode from other fans series? Wow.
It's another difficult question.
Well, because I mean,
there's so many fan series.
Some of the other fan series, but I think I'm not going to want to hurt those feelings. Like if I'm saying A, then probably B may get a bit upset. I'm not sure how to answer this.
Well, I think we can just point it out. We're just talking about the favorite, not the least favorite.
I mean, a lot of them are really good, but
what about the first that comes to your mind? Well, for me, maybe I should go first. I think the train modeler made good episodes, and especially recently, he started uploading frequently again. From I think just yesterday or the day before, he uploaded Trouble on the Line, the remake or kind of adaptation of Thomas and the Great Railway Show. That works extremely well, and Gordon and James and all those stuff. It's recently I really like watching those. I don't have a favorite episode per se, but fan series, I think the visuals is good, and it looks neat, and I just like the look of it. Yeah, and the fact that he added steam and smoke to the engines, that's I always love that addition. Yeah, time for you to decide, Thatcher.
I really like episode The Little Red Friends from Psychic Jason because it is an episode about Skarloey and Rheneas. And I guess because the two of them, they are really good old friends, I think. I mean, a lot of memories.
And another example of a fan series, not episode, that I love is definitely Sudrin Conflict. It's nothing like what others have produced, and it's a bit dark, and it's basically another perspective, and it's very interesting. And I like to see people, argue, but not argue in real life, but I mean in TV drama, it's very interesting to see.
Okay, so maybe let's move on. How do you guys find interest in making customs? Just because I think the most important reason is that there was no official toy of that character.
Yeah, that's the basic or the background reason, fundamental reason. But I also would like to say is the fun process of the joy of making custom. It's not like it's kind of like making a puzzle or building a model. Sometimes I would go as far as saying it's happier to build or make the custom than I've finished it and publish it or show it online, because I don't know, I just love making customs. It's kind of a hobby, kind of. So apart from what Thatcher mentioned, we need some customs because there's no characters and so we can film with. I also love making it, so it's kind of the process and the end product as well. Both of them give us joy.
Okay, next question. Have you guys ever felt like not making any more customs? I think Dita can answer this more because
yeah. Not making any more customs. Not really. Well, definitely I have taken some pause or some break because I don't like the characters in the show now, so I'm not going to make them. But eventually you will find interest in it again. So felt like not making any more custom is like a dead end, and I haven't reached that yet, and I don't think I will. It might be a pause or a break, but eventually I will get back to it because I like it. All right, next question.
Finish answering. So
yes.
What other shows are you interested in? Which is your favorite? I wonder if you mean like kids shows or maybe other.
I think whatever shows would do.
Yeah.
Apart from the Hong Kong TV drama, because if you mention it, nobody will understand what it is.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me, those from Hong Kong TV dramas that are not really my favorites.
Yeah, so apart from
I'm only interested in the dramas that having the stars that I like. Others I would definitely not watch it.
Yeah, so my personal favorite, as some of you might know, is Top Gear, or the one that follows, the Grand Tour. But it's basically two shows, but everyone combines them. And yeah, I'm also interested in some other shows like the TV dramas from Hong Kong. I like to watch some of them. It's fun and sometimes interesting. And other shows, basically Top Gear. That answered the second question as well. Top Gear / Grand Tour, my favorites. It's just funny watching the three argue, the trio. Yeah, anyone who loves it will understand.
I'm actually interested in watching some documentaries and also some, perhaps maybe it can let me see the environments, because I remembered I used to like watching the Running Wild with Bear Grylls. I found it really interesting, and I've also been interested in watching MasterChef Junior because I found it really amazing to see kids cooking really great dishes, but that's not me, so I could just only like look at them with amazement. And another show that I'm interested in is actually Running Man, both the Korea and the Chinese version. So yeah, if you ask me, my favorite should be Running Man because at least it's a game show and it brings me a lot of humor and fun to it.
Oh, I have two more examples to add apart from my favorite. Some other shows, there's some British sitcom that I found on YouTube. I have no idea why I like them so much. Firstly, The Thin Blue Line, very old series, and Keeping Up Appearances, another British sitcom. Yeah, those who know it will know it. If not, well, I recommend you to try it. Yes, The Thin Blue Line also features Rowan Atkinson, the actor for Mr. Bean, so you might want to check that out. It's absolutely hilarious. Now, I think that's it. Shall we move on?
Next question. What do you like to do when you are not making videos? We do a lot of things. I think I like watching TV or maybe listening to concerts or music. Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Uh, well, I would like to interpret this question as other hobbies apart from videos or customs. I would say drawing. I like to draw, and yeah, I did draw something. And what do I also like to do? Watch YouTube or uh, just as now I've just said those shows. And what else? I think that's it. Drawing. And
Yeah,
recently I've also picked up returned to playing the piano, kind of.
yeah, playing the piano, I also do that when I'm not making videos. Perhaps maybe something more related to music. And I've been also trying some music arrangements, just a trying, but I think I will not post it. Yeah.
All right, next question.
What is your first Plarail or Trackmaster merchandise? I think, do you mean item?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I've just shared this Plarail Duck and Toby from Thomasland.
Yeah,
I
I think I shared
oh,
about the sets given to me by my uncle on my third birthday. That was with Thomas, Andy, and Clarabelle with 2 trucks, as well as a circuit of track. I forgot the name of the set already.
I think that answers the question.
Do you watch any shows such as, I do not know, RWBY, My Hero Academia, etc.? I do not watch those because clearly I do not know the names already.
No, I don't watch them as well.
Yeah, so I guess we've answered this question.
I don't really watch anime.
Yeah.
Those Japanese animation, or did I? But I watched Doraemon. You watched Doraemon.
I also
Is it counted as an anime? I don't know when we watched
I
Doraemon.
know Doraemon and also Pokemon.
Pokemon. Oh, and also I've no idea what's that called. Uh the woman, the mother with 2 children in Chinese translation. Our home. Yeah, what's that called?
Yeah, with the lady look with such a the hairstyle look like a flower, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys know what we are talking about, I don't mind if you leave it in the comment section to remind us about the name of it. Okay. Yeah, because he watched the Cantonese translated version. I think that's why. So next question. Are you also
I've just searched online. It's actually called, but there's no English name. Atashi no Uchi, which is apparently Japanese, and literally my home or my family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't think our foreign viewers would know. Anyways, let's get on.
Okay, are you also a fan of real life railroad? Yes, I think.
Yes, I am.
I like British trains and railways a lot.
Well, I like both.
Japanese.
I like both British and American. American is quite specific. I only like the engines that the Jupiter-looking engines, the four O's. Yeah, or you can also have the 10-wheelers, but looking like that. I always like that. The smokestack with the huge diamond-shaped smokestack, something like that. But I love real-life railroads in general.
Yeah, I think
it's also related.
So next question. What's your favorite real steam locomotive? So steam locomotive. I think mine should be Flying Scotsman.
Have you seen it? Have you seen her?
I think I did not really see it in person. I wish I could see her.
All right. My favorite steam locomotive, I would say, is general term is the American 440s, kind of like what Disneyland usually have, but the fake one in Hong Kong. But yeah, basically that. But for British, I would like to say I like the Hall class or something that looks similar. The Star class, the King class, something like that. But I think the Hall class looks best.
Yeah. Well, I recall that I like Flying Scotsman because I remembered when I was on vacation in the United Kingdom and then I saw a bookstore with a book about trains, and then basically the whole thing, the whole book titled The Flying Scotsman, and it was just talking about the whole book about Flying Scotsman, and I was like, oh, so interesting. Then I read about her history and then like her time in Australia, and I think, yeah, apart from Britain, and I really hope that I could really see the train one day, but perhaps I need some time and money.
All
Okay,
right.
next
Next
question.
question.
Do you like Disneyland or Walt Disney World better?
Well, I think that's a question for me because I don't think Thatcher has been to both. Have you?
Walt Disney World, is it the one?
Both of them are in the U.S. One is in California, the other is in Florida.
Oh, and I definitely cannot answer it.
Yeah. Well, I've had the privilege to go to both last summer after my public exam. I kind of like Disneyland better. Yeah, I've posted things on Twitter about it, so I think the person who asked this question must have seen those. But I like Disneyland better. Firstly, because it is the original Disneyland, and Walt Disney himself uh, stepped on the land right there, and he designed it completely. And secondly, I kind of like the atmosphere there. It's more relaxing than Walt Disney World. Yeah, well, I like both of them, and the magic is in both of them. But a little comparison or metaphor would be Disneyland would be kind of like a classic Thomas series, but Walt Disney World is like the Big World, Big Adventure episodes, but the good one, the one in Soto and the good ones. So one is calm, charming, and classic. The other one is bigger, much grander, more exciting. Yeah, and I like Disneyland more. All right, next question.
Where did you buy your Plarail and Trackmaster stuff? We buy it in different things. Different locations. If you ask, because we're in Hong Kong, so I think I've been buying a lot of them in Toys R Us when I was really small, and now I still find them in Toys R Us and also in the local department store called Wonderland, and probably some on Taobao as well.
Yeah, I think that answers question for both of us. Yeah.
So next, where do you get the HO scale Bachmann Thomas models?
I think that's a question for me again. I got the older ones. I've got Thomas, Percy, James. Yeah, I think three of them when I was small. Not really small, but smaller than now. And I think my parents or my dad in particular got it from a model shop. Yeah, a local model shop. Yeah, and that's one of the way. And recently, I think I've got Rosie from somewhere online. Yeah, I've got that from along with someone also in Hong Kong that wants some of the Bachmann stuff. So we share shipping. And Gordon is from another TCC friend. So yeah, I've got all different sources or locations that I get these from, but mostly model shops or online, perhaps on eBay or the official website.
So are you done answering
Yes,
this?
yes, I'm not done, but I have finished answering the question. Yeah, next one.
Can you play musical instruments?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Well,
I
if you
play.
check our previous live stream, I think you could see me playing the really useful engines, the song on the piano. Yeah. And I also know how to play the violin and viola. If you also count a recorder, I also know a recorder.
I also play the piano and I play the trumpet.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
it. Let's move on.
What do you think of the fandom nowadays, and do you think there is a way to get rid of all the rudeness that our fandom has ridden with?
That's a very good question. I think I'll start the discussion by saying that rudeness is not only confined to our fandom, or not only confined to the online fandoms. It's actually everywhere in the world. It's like when you gather the amount of people together online or in person, like imagine all of the Thomas fans coming into a hall, but not just a meetup, but discuss stuff. There's bound to be some arguments. So I don't think the rudeness is confined in the fandom. And is there a way to get rid of it? Well, definitely yes, but it requires changes from every one of us. And although it would be great, but I don't think it's kind of practical to make everybody nice and not argue at all times. And even, you know, in real life, we often argue, no matter at school or at work or whatever, wherever. People argue that's just how people, most of the people are. Of course, we would like everybody to be kind and be modest and all the stuff, but it's not really realistic. And in terms of what do I think of the fandom nowadays, I think it's a good platform for us to discuss. I mean, if I don't understand anything, I post it, and some answer will definitely come out. So it's a good place, honestly, I think. Although there has been conflicts or dramas or arguments, I think it's kind of normal to have such things when, a lot of people from all different backgrounds, all different experience, all different ages come together. There's bound to be some conflicts. So, yeah, I think that concludes my answer.
Well, I think I will just briefly say my opinion. Of course, ideally that we can all, I mean, communicate very peacefully and in harmony. But of course, there are a lot of opinions, both positive and negative, in the fandom. But I think I really do not really. Sometimes I do not really care about people like arguing each other because literally to me it's like not my business. But I think we should also respect others' opinions, and that is the most important thing that we should learn, I think.
Yeah, one more point to add is when you see someone arguing and you would like to, get rid of, quote from the question, rudeness that our fandom has. Well, the first thing you can do is step away, but you can either, close the application, close Twitter, or, just do not comment on any arguments. Then it would be just an argument or conflict between two persons instead of two, camps, to groups of people or even the whole fandom. It wouldn't split us if you don't step in. But of course, if you have strong, strong opinion on something, I encourage you to split it out. But there's no need to, comment on there to, just add oil to fire. I don't know if it's cultural difference from us or the other countries because, yeah, that's basically it. If you would like to conserve the kind of peace in the fandom, just step out and calm yourself.
I think apart from calm, just now as I've mentioned, respect is also something really important that I think all of us should learn because we should respect others' opinions and also respect others' privacy as well. Because I've seen basically some posts on Twitter saying that and there's some guy about asking some really personal questions and then say, oh, if you don't listen to my opinion, then I will blah 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 like this. And I think that's I mean, to some YouTubers, that may be really hurtful if you're like begging someone to like knowing your address or maybe where you live or maybe even your phone number or so. I think that you should, I mean, all of us, we should respect others' information, but basically just stay at a certain distance where we only communicate like something that we have in common, that is Thomas and Friends.
Yeah, and to not, stir up any more conflict, I think we should move on. Next question.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you do most during quarantine? Um,
A very timely question.
Yeah. I think I spent about some of my time doing schoolwork since we did not stop our lessons, but we changed into an online format. But if I'm not having lessons, I enjoy playing the piano and also watching YouTube and so on, or maybe sometimes singing songs.
Well, my situation is similar to Thatcher because school did not stop; it just moved online like everybody else. And basically, in the morning, I have the lessons, although it's online, I still take it, And then I do assignments or term papers, the weekly assignments or the projects and stuff. So that basically occupies my daytime. And after dinner, I will relax myself, like watching YouTube or playing with my making custom the shooting star Gordon. I made it in around a week or so, and I also spend time playing the piano, just like Thatcher. And if I'm really bored, I would draw, which I still haven't. And I also spend time playing the HO scale model kind of layout ish something. Yeah. So I think that's it. But mostly schoolwork.
Yeah. So next question. Oh, I mean
Oh,
next section.
Streamline
Maybe
section.
let me. Let me give the time to Dita to host the questions for this part.
Yes, all right. So the rationale behind this is some of the questions is just yes, no, and we would just get it over it extremely quickly, or some of those are A or B questions, and that we can just speak out the first thing that comes into mind. So it's kind of like a flash round or a lightning round, but called a streamlined section to add a little steam engine flavor to it. All right, so I think we are ready. First question. Will you host a Hong Kong Thomas fan live stream? Well, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I would say
idea.
maybe, but I'm not sure as well.
It's not a bad idea if a lot of people are interested, although Hong Kong Thomas fan is a quite small community, not a lot of people like it.
I think you can count it within your fingers.
Yeah, definitely. Or one hand, not even two. So, maybe it's not a bad idea, but no plans on doing so now. If anyone will host a live stream, a Hong Kong Thomas Fan live stream, well, you can inform us and we might pop in. Who knows? All right, next question. Least favorite character.
I guess you mean Thomas characters?
Yes, Thomas character. The first that comes into your mind.
Okay, I have one in mind. So let's shout it out in the count of 3. Should we try it?
I haven't thought of that. I'm still thinking. It's harder than I thought. Least favorite. Well, because if I hate it, I wouldn't remember it, would I? I'm going to say someone really annoying.
Okay, so
who's annoying?
In mind,
Charlie, or yeah, I'm gonna say Charlie.
Oh, you like Charlie.
Yeah.
I would say it's Noor Jahan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't really get what's the point of her having there.
There are lots of pointless characters in the group.
If you ask me, even Shankar is better than Noor Jahan to me.
Yeah. Well, pointless is not really a point for thinking it's least favorite.
But at least I do not know that much about her, and I do not find interest in her. That's why.
I really hate annoying Thomas characters, so I'll say Charlie. All right, next question.
Favorite
theme character. Now this time, really the first that comes into your mind.
Okay, let's count 3.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Lady. What did you say? I can't even hear it. It's not effective. But I'll answer it first. Lady, because I like her design basically, and it is theme character. She's special and stuff, but of course she comes from a imperfect movie. But yeah, I like her. All right, your answer.
Edward is because just now, as mentioned, I really like his personality a lot.
What about apart from the Steam team?
Apart from the Steam team, it should be. I don't know yet. Maybe Ryan, I guess. I'm not sure.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, next question, okay.
Favorite Disney character?
I have one in mind.
Me too. I bet it's the same.
I'm not sure if it's the same. I would never guarantee it is the same.
All right, I'm going to go first. Paxton, he's
Same.
and yeah, basically he's the only Diesel character that is designed to be likable, apart from maybe Philip or Sydney. But Sydney is just a one-trick pony, just forgets everything. So not really a lot of character going on. So I've got to say Paxton.
Yeah, I like Paxton too because he's fun, he's kind, and he's friendly. I think because I really like his qualities. His personalities are great, and I think it differs from quite a number of diesels.
Yeah. Are we going to be killed for not saying Boko?
Well,
Actually, I don't really like Boko as much as everybody said they are, because
I feel
don't know.
like he is like an Edward but in a diesel.
Yeah, kind of that. And I know he's one of the most loved Diesel character, but I don't think there's a lot about him. But all right, moving on. Next question.
Favorite food. I have mine. What I have in mind is
Yeah, then you can
pasta.
go. Pasta.
Yeah, I like all sorts of pasta. The spiral ones, the ones shaped like bowls. I like spaghetti, and I like those shaped like shells, or maybe even like yeah. And I really like the combinations because you can like use ketchup, you can add cream sauce. You may actually mix it with different herbs. You can mix it with seafood. You can mix truffles or some other things. I think the combinations is pretty diverse, and I really like the taste of it.
I think I'm gonna cheat and say Japanese cuisine instead of a specific food, because I like sushi, or even the cooked Japanese cuisine like udon and the tempura and stuff like that. They're basically Japanese cuisine. But if you're asking about my favorite among the Japanese cuisine, well, I would say sushi. Yeah, I kind of like sushi more than sashimi, because with the little rice in the bottom, I think it adds to the taste. Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Favorite color?
Who should start first?
You can go first.
Okay. My favorite color is blue. It may seem a little bit odd, but yeah, I like a lot of blue things because I use a blue mug, I use a blue water bottle, I use a blue bag, I sit on a blue chair. My favorite comics character is blue as well. My favorite Mario character is blue. I mean, the clothing is blue. Yeah, I just like blue. I don't know why.
All right. If you ask me, 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe 5, I would say orange. I have no idea why, but I just like orange stuff. I like orange. But now I would say blue as well. I don't know. Blue gives a kind of calming and enjoyable, relaxed atmosphere. And more to the point, actually, there's a little fun fact. I was making my term paper, or the analysis report, yesterday, and I've just realized the whole report's color scheme is blue for some reason. And I think it's a very convenient color that you can alter it. Different shades of blue adds a lot of depth. You can't do that with orange. There aren't a lot of shades of orange. You have to go at some point go to yellow, or at some point go to red. But there is a lot of shades of blue. So it's convenient, it has depth, it's calming, it's relaxing. So I'm going to say it's blue.
Okay.
All right, next question. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to read the question.
Oh yeah, sorry. Favorite series, 13 to 15 episodes. Why is this 15? Not 16. Well, whatever. I have no idea what series it is, anyways.
Let me think.
The first one that comes into my mind is Thomas Toots the Crowd, but not because it's my favorite. It's because it's absurd.
I think think we need to check that.
I think we can skip this question.
The
I
fact
think there
that Thomas
will
Choose
be a
to
way
Proud
to do
is from season 16, okay?
I have no idea. I'm gonna skip this question.
I have one in mind. I actually like Jitters and Japes. I don't know why. Seems fun. I mean, if I'm like a tourist and I find different things really interesting looking and new to me, that I think it is a fresh experience. So I mean, if I substitute myself into Dowager hats, then I would actually enjoy the episode.
Fun fact, I have no idea what he's talking about. I highly suspect I haven't watched that episode. All right. Next
So you
question.
should watch it.
Next question.
Okay.
What other Plarail or Trackmaster models do you plan to get?
I think for those like in the future, maybe not. Yeah, Trackmaster. I think I'm getting the motorized Shade. Yeah, maybe a Duchess. I think. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, all right. One of my plan is a very long-term plan actually. I am going to get a Plarail Duchess, although there is no Plarail Duchess announced. I'm quite sure they normally, would make one, and I think it would look great. Duchess is a decent character, and I want to own it. So basically that. The Trackmaster, I don't really want any Trackmaster trains or engines now because they don't look good. The characters are not lovable, and yeah, I have no motivation to get any of the Trackmaster.
I think, or maybe for Plarail, I am predicting that Plarail may make Kenji because it is based on Japanese trains, and I think Plarail they did awesome job on doing Japanese trains. I think Kenji would look great if Plarail makes it. Yeah. So if that looks good, I think I'm gonna get it. But still depends. We do not know anything yet.
Yeah. Next question. Do you have any Plarail Japanese trains? I do. I have quite a lot actually. I have one that is called the well, I have no idea what the English name is, but whatever. I have a very strong diesel engine that can pull 50 or 60 cars or coaches or trucks uphill. Yeah, so yeah, that's one of the examples. I also have a lot of those Shinkansen, like Kenji. Yeah, what Kenji was based on. And I also have some steam engines. For example, the D51, the basis that Hero is based on. And a lot of other engines, electric, diesel, or steam. I actually do have a lot of Plarail Japanese trains. And that reminds me, if you actually want to see some of reviews or reviews on these Plarail Japanese trains, you can leave a comment below or just tell us whatever the way is, and we can make some. It's not hard. So if you want it, just tell us. What about you, Thatcher?
I do not own Plarail Japanese trains because I think commerce is already enough for me, or because if I own more Plarail Japanese trains, I would definitely do not have enough space for more commerce.
Yeah, good point. Because I do not own I do own quite a number of Thomas trains, but not as much as Thatcher. Thatcher basically have every single character made. So
trains.
Yeah, every single engines made. Is that better? Yeah. And so apparently he will get kicked out of the house if he gets more engines. But for my case, I actually collected these Japanese Plarail trains and my Thomas collection simultaneously when I was small. So it's a different situation. So short answer, yes, I do have it. All right, next question. What are your earliest memories of the Railway series? Well, Thatcher, maybe you can start first.
I can start first. My first impression on the Railway series was not good at all because it was like a lot of text, and I wasn't really like into reading those stories, and I felt like the illustrations they looked really different from what I thought it was in the television series. I thought the pictures were going to be screenshots of the episodes, but instead it was actually drawn. So that may look a little bit awkward at first, but once perhaps after time and then I grew older, then I started interest in reading the original stories and also looking at the illustrations. So I think now it's pretty good. Yeah. How about you?
For me, my earliest memories, I would answer it in another way. I read my first Railway series book when they published the what's it called? It's not the complete collection. It's the original collection.
I think it's also called the complete collection. Is it
really? The
60th anniversary, that one?
Yeah, the 60th anniversary.
It's also called the complete collection.
Okay, so yeah, that one. I read my first Railway series story from there. So it is very important, I think, for Mattel or whatever the publisher will be to publish the Railway series books again for every big anniversary like this year. But sadly, for this year, they are going to publish one, but it's still not the complete collection. There's still one book left out. Am I right, Thatcher?
You mean the entire Railway series, or?
Yes.
If you say the entire Railway series, I think
more than that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, but the bottom line is it's still not complete. There's still no the actual literal complete collection of the Railway series.
At least it's still missing the works from Christopher Audrey.
Yeah, all right. And moving on and speeding up. Next one. One of your best memories of railways in general. Well,
first?
Yeah, okay. I can go first. I've ridden on a number of railways before in Japan or whatever, but I think one of my best memories is definitely the recent one, and it's the most most vivid, is for the Walt Disney World Railroad, because I've joined the tour that brings us to the roundhouse, and it's very stunning to see what's behind the operation. Yeah, I'm going to cut short my answer. What about you, Thatcher?
I think that railways are one of the most an invention that changed the world, if you ask me, since the Industrial Revolution. So I think it has evolved quite a lot since then. Like, we have high-speed railways and we still have steam locomotives, and I think railways have given me a lot of inspiration, and I also think it gives me safe, because at least I can see the track where I'm going. Yeah, that is really important to me.
All right, next question. If you have, this is an interesting question. If you have 1,000 pounds of dynamite, what will you do with it?
I would blast a cave and then blast a cave and then move everything in there and have a really large storage for my Thomas and friends. And I can live in the cave.
That's a very creative answer. What will I do? Well, I have a better answer. I will sell it, and instead of having dynamite that I don't need, I will have money that I need. Good point. All right. Next question. Favorite country to visit? Well, maybe I should go first. Japan, no doubt. Cuisine is good, as I've mentioned. It has basically everything I need. It has a Disneyland, unique Disney Sea, and it has Thomasland, Thomas-related stuff, and model shops, and everyone's very polite. Everyone's very kind, and yeah, there's not a whole lot of cultural difference between Hong Kong and Japan. Well, there is, but not really massive. So I think it's a comfortable place that has all I need. Definitely my favorite country to visit.
Yeah, for me, I would want to choose some country that is less busier and just more quieter and at a slower pace. And I would like to revisit New Zealand again, because after I've been to New Zealand once and I found like, the environment is so good and I could learn more about the nature as well as the reusable energy, because I realized that they use quite a lot of reusable energy in New Zealand, and I think that is really interesting. And I could learn more about technologies. I can also learn about geography there because there are quite a number of volcanoes there as well. So that is pretty interesting to me. So I would really want to go there again.
Okay, speaking of which, I've also enjoyed visiting Iceland, which is quite similar to New Zealand. Geothermal energy, renewable energy, rock types and stuff. But I'm quite interested in those. So, yeah, I also enjoy visiting Iceland. But why would I say Japan is my favorite country to visit? Because Japan is you can visit more than once, but for Iceland, perhaps once or twice in your life, and yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. If you are going somewhere near or maybe just still at Asia, perhaps maybe Korea or Japan, I think. Yeah, next question. Have you heard of Transformers? Yes, I've heard of it, but I didn't like it.
Uh, yes, I have heard of it, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know if I liked it.
Yeah, because to me it felt like Transformers, except they had Thomas style faces.
And I hate Transformers, and I hate stuff that teams up with Thomas that has no place in it. But well, I don't actually hate Transformers because I think it's a fan series or something. But it's getting a bit similar to what we have in the show now. Marvelous machinery, big robots and stuff. Who knows? One day we will have a Transformers in the official show. And
Okay.
that would be the end of the show. Whatever.
That
Okay.
would be the end of the show. Okay. Next question.
Favorite type of music or singer?
To me, I like pop music, and I also like those kind of music that feels like I'm watching a movie. I mean, the movie style would be a lot more heavier. It means like I could hear a more complexity in the layers of music, perhaps with more instruments involved, like this. But yes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And for me, I like maybe strange to someone. I like classical music. It's I just like it. Some of them is calm, and some of them are energetic, and I love it. And for some pop or more modern music, I would say I like music that is from TV shows or movies or drama because it feels more relevant, and those helps the development of the plot and the environment.
It can bring the audience to the story because music really helps a lot. It can make the show more intense and more exciting.
You're right. So,
how about for singers?
Singers, I don't really know, but that's a question for you apparently.
Yeah. If you ask me for local singers, I do have some of my favorites. I really like Sammy Chang, Miriam Yeh, and Joey Young. If you do not know who they are, you can just Google it. Or if you don't know who is Sammy Chang, you can check out a video that we posted, I think, a few months ago of me going to the concert, and I found it really interesting and pretty fresh as a fan. So if you ask me international singers, I like I think Taylor Swift or maybe Adele. Yeah.
All right.
How about you? Do you have it?
No, I don't. Don't really listen to a lot of songs that are sung by singers.
Okay.
All right. So, next question. What will you do if you reach a huge number of subscribers? What's like a million? A million. A million.
That would take a really long time, but
This is a hypothetical question.
Yeah. Perhaps I'll just throw a party, that's all.
Yeah, and also the fact that when I've reached a million, I think we are going to get the gold play button, if I'm not mistaken. Well, definitely the silver is 10,000.
Yeah.
1,000, something like that. So a million is definitely past. I don't know whether or
Wait,
not
wait, wait.
gold or something.
100,000 because
I
you
would
already
really
reached.
like to have the silver, gold, or whatever play button.
Yeah, we should I think apart from throwing a party, maybe we'll do live stream or maybe another Q&A or maybe at least we are going to display our award or maybe just take a picture with it and then post it on social media.
Let's see. It's gonna be a long way.
I will not deny that we are not going to reach that amount of number of subscribers, but it will just still leave it in my
It
imagination.
will be a very, very long way.
Yeah.
Besides, we need to decide which of us are going to keep the play button.
Or perhaps maybe we need to expand our contents to other things as well, just to attract more subscribers. I do not know that now. Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Hey.
Oh. So basically that's it for this Q&A. That was the last question, the 75th question in this 75th anniversary Q&A. So on the screen now you can see a lot of Thomas throughout the years. Try to include some representatives from each of the eras, and yeah, Thomas might not be what it was, but you know, he will always be what we want him to be in our hearts. That's what we can take control
He
of.
is still the number one tank engine that we know, but perhaps his behavior might be a little bit not familiar to us right now.
Well, if that's the case, just go back and watch season 20 or the classic series. You know, those, or the fan series, the classic series, fan series, those will always stay, and you can just go back and watch them.
Or
Especially
maybe
in this.
the railway series will also do, if you ask me.
Yeah, especially during this tiring time of the pandemic and the big world, big adventure stuff. So yeah, that's it. I think that's all for the Q&A.
Yeah, we hope that you enjoyed the Q&A and we did answer your questions well, but for some, do not get too disappointed if your question did not get picked. Perhaps it is relatively more private, or maybe your question was not as, meaningful, or maybe as good as some other quality of questions. So I think that.
So I would say basically we just chose some questions to get answered because we can only answer 75 of them.
Yeah, and we basically picked those that are more convenient for us to answer as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's based on a series of selection. Anyways, that's all for the two parts of our 75 questions, 75 anniversary Q&A, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, if you like this Q&A, remember to leave a like, and we'll see if you can comment on our video, and remember to subscribe our channel for our future series and other videos as well. And do not forget to like our Facebook and follow our Twitter and Instagram accounts because you'll see a lot more posts and information there as well.
So this is Wong Village, well, both of us signing off.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.